Hello, this is Math 125 Intermediate Algebra. Today we learn Chapter 6, which is rational expression and rational equation. And we talk about a similar question to the homework. So this is homework examples of Chapter 6. And each question on your homework, I give two examples, like 1A example 1 and 1A example 2. Each have two examples. Now, first example, here t squared minus 4 over 15t. This we call is in fractional form. So and with variable, we call rational expression. So we talk about this is a multiplication problem. The two expressions multiply together. So first of all, we have to factor t squared minus 4. We write as t squared minus 2 squared. And the 9t squared, you look at this, has a 15. 15 and the 9 has a common factor 3. And has t and the t squared has common factor t. So I put 3 times t. And the 9 divided by 3 got another 3. T squared divided by t have another t. So 9t squared, I put 3 times t times 3t. 15t is 3 times 5 times t. And times with denominator is t squared minus t minus 6. So we need to factor this. So we factor negative 6. First of all, we have to find out the factor of negative 6. Negative 6 can factor as negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And the two number you add together, negative 3 added 2, it's a negative 1. T coefficient, it's a negative 1. So you can check it t times t. How to factor t squared minus t minus 6. So you do t squared minus t minus 6 is a factor. Leading coefficient is 1. You can put this way, t parenthesis t parenthesis. And then you factor negative 6. You use the trial and the error method. So try it. For example, if you try positive 3, negative 2, then you check it. 3t, negative 2t add together is a positive 1t, but we want negative t. So this one is not the right one. So we switch the sign, negative 3, positive 2. And then negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And the inner term product, outer term product, negative 3t add 2t, it's a negative t. So that's a fit. So we need to find out two numbers tying together is a constant term, negative 6. And the two numbers add together should be the t term coefficient. Those 1, negative 6, we call coefficient. T term coefficient, it's a negative 1. So negative 3 add 2 should be equal negative 1. Then that's the right factors. So this one we factor as a t minus 3 times t plus 2. So numerate tying together, denominate tying together, and cancel common factor. T squared minus 2 squared. So we factor as t minus 2 and times t plus 2. Use the formula. The formula is a squared minus b squared equal a minus b times a plus b formula. So it's t squared minus 2 squared. T plug in A, 2 plug in B. So T, B is 2. T is 2. So, and then here, 3 and 3 cancel, T and the T cancel. So, and then this factor as the 2 factor, and here the 2 cancel, remains 3T. And then denominate 5 times 3T cancel, and T minus 3, and times T plus 2. Then cancel t plus 2, common factor. So remains 3t times parenthesis t minus 2, and 5 times t minus 3. That's the answer Now here is the formula we use to solve this question. And here use the trial and the error method. Use 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times -2 is -2. Add together is 1. We want -1. So this is not we want. But if you put -3 and the 2, tying together is -6. Cross product, -3, add 2 is -1. That's t-term coefficient. So this is the right one. Then you attach t, because t square factor as t times t is a t squared, and put the parentheses. So you got t minus 3 times t plus 2. So use trial and error method to affect it. Second example for question 1a, t squared minus 16, we can put t squared minus 4 squared times 16t squared. You look at denominator has 24t. 24 and the 16 common factor, it's 8. 8. So I put a times 2t and times t. T squared is t times t. And the 24t you can factor as a times 3t. And the t squared plus 2t minus 8. Also you use the trial and the error method. You need to find two number tying together is a -8. The two number you add together is equal to t-term coefficient +2. So for example, if I try -4, 2, then that's tying together is -8. Cross multiplication, -4 times 1 is -4. 1 times 2 is 2. Add together is -2. No, because t-term coefficient is +2, so this is not right. Then try +4, -2, tying together is a -8. Cross multiplication, 4 plus 1 times -2 is -2. Add together is a 2, +2. So that's fit this t-term coefficient. So attach the t, because this is t times t is t squared, and put the parentheses. So factor as t plus 4 times t minus 2. Then next step, cancel common factor 8, cancel common factor t, and t squared minus 4 squared. Use the formula. The formula is a squared minus b squared equal a minus b parentheses times a plus b parentheses. So here t is 4. T plug in a, 4 plug in b. So get t minus 4. T minus 4 times t plus 4. Then, so those a cancel, t cancel. So this factor is t minus 4 times t plus 4. So this one remain 2t. And this at cancel. So remains 3 and t plus 4 factor, then times t minus 2. Then the 2 have common factor t plus 4 cancel. So remain 2t times quantity of t minus 4, and then 3 times quantity of t minus 2. So the two are example. And B example, 1b, question 1b. It's the next one, B. First example and the second example. First example, 3y minus 6. 3y minus 6 has common factor 3. 3 and the 6 have common factor 3. Factor out and put the parentheses. 3y take out 3, so have y minus 6 divided by 3 have 2. And time, numerator tying together, times the numerator y squared minus 25 and y squared minus 5 squared. Then this denominator, 2y squared plus 7y minus 15. Also use the trial and the error method. You try until you got right one. So like this coefficient, 2, 7, -15, 2 we call leading coefficient. If the leading coefficient is not 1, we factor 2 as 2 times 1. Put on first column. And the -15, we can factor many kinds. And usually we put the two number closer, try the two number is closer to each other first. And normally that is the answer. So we try 5 and 3. And since this is negative 15, we have to put one positive, one negative. And cross multiply. 5 times 1 is positive 5. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Add together is negative 1. Because this y term coefficient is 7. It's negative 1 is not what we want. We want positive 7. So I switch the 2. And negative 3 put first and 5 put second. And cross multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Add together is a positive 7. So this is what we want. Because y term coefficient is 7. Then attach the variable y squared. So put y and put y and put the parentheses. So factor is 2y minus 3 times y factor y plus 5. And the other one, the other denominator, 2y minus 4, common factor 2, factor out. 2y divided by 2, get y, put it in parentheses, minus, still minus. 4 divided by 2, get 2. And then we can reduce. Y minus 2 is common factor, reduce. So then equal 3, and this cancel. Y squared minus 5 squared, factor. Factor is y minus 5 and times with this is cancel. So this is 3. And this y squared minus 5 squared. Use the formula. It's y plus 5 times y minus 5. And denominator have this 2 I put to the front. 2y minus 3 and y plus 5. And then the 2 have a common factor, y plus 5 cancel. So get this. That's the answer. So this question, you will use the same formula as the previous one. This formula, a squared minus b squared equal a minus b quantity times a plus b quantity formula. This we call difference of square formula. And the second example for 1b, question 1b, is this one. First of all, 5y minus 15, we factor out common factor, greatest common factor, 5 and 15 common factor 5, factor out. So 5y divided by 5, so have y, and minus, still minus. 15 divided by 5 has factor 3. You can check it. 5y minus 15, they are equal. And times y squared minus 49. 49 is 7 squared. Then this, also try it. So like 3, you can factor as 3 times 1. And the negative 14, you can factor as positive 7 and the negative 2. Then you cross times it. 7 times 1 is 7. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Add together is positive 1. And this is now we want, because we want it's 19. Y term coefficient is 19. So we try another one. I switch the two number. 3 times 1 is a factor for 3. Negative 14, you try negative 2, 7, and times cross times it. 3 times 7 is a positive 21. Add negative 2 times 1 is a negative 2. Add together, it's a 19. That's what we want. That's correct. And then we, because y squared, you can attach y here. Y squared separate is y times y. And 3y times 1y is a 3y squared. And put the parentheses. And so this denominator factor as 3y minus 2 times y plus 7. Put the parentheses. And this 5 and the 35 have a common factor is a 5. So factor out 5. And 5y, take out 5, still have y, put it in parentheses. And then minus, still minus. 35 divided by 5 is 7. Then you cancel 5. cancel 5. And then copy y minus 3. This y squared minus 7 squared factor as y minus 7 times quantity y plus 7. And this denominator is 3y minus 2 and y plus 7. And 5 cancel, so remain y minus 7. Then you cancel y minus 7 and cancel y plus 7. And so that's the answer. So this is A and B example. And then C, first question C. We talk about division. A and B is multiplication. Division is the procedure for the division. It's the same way when you do the fractional number. Fraction, like this one. A over B divided by C over D is equal to A over B times division changed to multiplication, the second fraction reciprocal, D over C. And then do numerator times numerator, A times D over denominator times denominator. So this is in fraction. We have to change division to multiplication, and the second fraction need reciprocal, and then follow the rule of multiplication to do. So like this question is 9 minus 3t have a common 9 and 3 have a common factor 3 factor out. So 9 is 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 divided by 3 got 3, put it in the parentheses. 3t divided by 3 got t. Minus, still minus. You can check it. 3 times 3 is 9. 3t is 3t. They are equal. Over 5. Then division changed to multiplication. Second fraction reciprocal. Reciprocal means 15t put on the numerator. And then I separate as factor as 15. I factor as 5 times 3 and times t. And t minus 3 put on the denominator. And then we can cancel. 5 and 5 cancel. So, and then you look at here is 3 minus t. Here's t minus 3. So 3 minus t is equal to 3 plus negative t. That's by definition of subtraction. Definition of subtraction. 3 minus t is equal to 3 plus negative t. That's the definition of subtraction. Then, since addition is commutative, so commutative property, change the two terms, get negative t plus 3. And then, following this negative sign, put the parentheses. So when you put the parentheses, this plus, you have to change to minus. You can check it. Negative times t is negative t. Negative times negative is positive, so it's plus 3. They are equal. So when you insert the parentheses, following the negative sign, plus change to minus, minus change to plus. So therefore, 3 minus t, this one, 3 minus t is equal negative parentheses t minus 3. So 3 minus t, and negative I put in front. 3 minus t equal negative parentheses t minus 3. And this 5 cancel and times 3t. Denominator 5 cancel, remain t minus 3. And then common factor t minus 3 reduce, cancel. And negative 3 times 3 is a negative 9t. And question 1c, second example. A minus 16t have a common factor 8 factor out. A divided by 8, put the parentheses 1. 8 times 1 is 8. Minus, still minus. 16t divided by 8 remain 2t. You can check it. 8 times 2t is 16t over 7. And division, change to multiplication, second fraction, reciprocal. Put 14t on numerator. And since this one has 7, then 14t you can factor as 7 times 2t. And the 2t minus 1 put on the denominator. And then 2t minus 1, we can, because here's 1 minus 2t. So 2t minus 1 is equal, by definition of subtraction, and you can write is 2t plus negative 1. Then you, by communicated property, exchange the order, it's still equal. So become negative 1 plus 2t. And then insert the parentheses, plus change to minus. So it's a negative parentheses 1 minus 2t. Quantity. I can give you example. For example, like 5 minus 2, you can is equal to 5 plus negative 2, and equals exchange negative 2 plus 5. Insert the parentheses, it's 2 minus 5, which is a negative 2 minus 5, it's a negative 3. Tying together equals 3. And the 5 minus 2 also equals 3. So 5 minus 2 is equals negative 2 minus 5. So therefore, A minus B is equal negative B minus A. Equal. You can distribute it in negative B, and negative times negative is positive A. So the quick way is just the two exchange, become 1 minus 2t, and put the parentheses in front, have a negative sign. In front have a negative sign. So like this, 3 minus t, the quick way is front have a negative sign, and t minus 3, exchange, t minus 3, in front have negative sign. And just like this one. 5 minus 2 is equal, in front have a negative sign, put the parentheses 2 minus 3, equal. Equal. So the quick way, you don't have to do these details. You can do that quick way if you can memorize it. So now become the same factor. So you can cancel the common factor. Cancel common factor, denominator only have a negative 1. And then numerator is 16t, and divider is a negative 16t. That's C. Then D. Then D, we are going to use here 6x to the power 4. And here's division problem. So division changed to multiplication. X squared minus 9. 9 is 3 squared. Then second fraction, you need reciprocal. 3x to the power cubed. And put on denominator. X squared minus 6x plus 9. Put on the numerator. And factor it. And you can see here has 6. So you can, here has a 3. Common factor is 3, can cancel. So I put 6 as 2 times 3. X to the power 4 and the x cubed. Common factor is x cubed. So I put x to the power 4 as x cubed times x. And times this side, this x squared minus 6x plus 9. So factor it. You can do this trial and the error method. Leading coefficient is 1. 1 factor is 1 times 1. 9 factor is 3 times 3. Cross multiplication, 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Add together is positive 6. But here we want negative 6. So you attach negative sign, because negative 3 times negative 3 is still positive 9. And then this cross multiplication get negative 3, add a negative 3. The sum is a negative 6. So, and then attach the x, because x squared is x times x, and put the parentheses. So you get x minus 3 times x minus 3. So get this, x minus 3 times x minus 3, which is x minus 3 quantity square. And this denominator, x squared minus 3 square factor, x minus 3 times x plus 3, use formula. and copy this 3 down, copy x cubed down. Now we can cancel. 3 cancel, x cubed cancel, x minus 3 cancel. So remain 2 times x times quantity x minus 3 over x plus 3. And the other one, the next question, B, example 2. Example 2, this is a 10x to the power 4. And x squared minus 36 is x squared minus 6 squared. Division changed to multiplication, second fraction reciprocal. 5x cubed put on denominator. X squared. I'm going to factor this. I put this way because I'm going to use this formula. You can factor this by this method, trial and error method. Trial and error method. You can use 6 times 6. Right? 6 times 6 is 36. And then 6 add 6 is 12. So factor is x plus 6 times x plus 6, and put it in exponential form is x plus 6 quantity square. Or you can use this completing square formula, also called perfect square formula. Completing square formula or perfect square formula, which is this formula. This formula is a squared because here's a plus. So use plus 2ab plus b squared equal quantity a plus b squared. This we call completing square or perfect square formula. How to prove this formula is true? You do multiplication. You do a plus b quantity times a plus b and use for your method. You will get left side. And then now we go left to the right. Let's do factoring. So here I put this x squared and plus 2, and a is x, and b should be 6 because here's 12. 12 divided by 2, get b is 6. So you time together, 2 times x times 6 is equal 12x. And plus b. b is 6 squared. b is 6. 6 squared. So that is x squared plus 12x plus 36. And put this way, equal. They are equal. And that will be equal. A is x plus b is 6 quantity square. So factor as x plus b quantity square. And denominator x squared minus 6 squared factor as x minus 6 quantity times x plus 6. And here I put 5 because 10 and the 5 common factor is a 5. 5 and the x cubed. So now we cancel common factor 5, cancel x cubed, and here x plus 6 squared, and cancel 1 of x plus 6, and remain another 1. X plus 6 to the power 1, another 1. So then times together is 2 times x times quantity x plus 6. Those cancel and remain x minus 6. That's the first problem. Second homework question example. Second question. First problem we learn is multiplication division. And second question we learn addition and the subtraction. When we do the addition and the subtraction, it's similar like a fraction. We need to find out LCD, least common denominator. Then like 2 over 3 add 1 over 2. How to add? We first of all find the LCD. This common denominator is 3 times 2 is 6. So in order to get 6, this need times 2 both sides. And second fraction need times 3 both sides. So then they have a common same denominator. When they have same denominator, then you can add the numerator. So the 4 plus 3 is 7 over 6. So for subtraction also, For subtraction, same. Find LCD first and write the equivalent fraction. 2 over 3 equivalent to 4 over 6. 1 over 2 equivalent to 3 over 6. And have the same denominator, then you can add the numerator. So, and for that is for the rational number, also called fraction. Now here we learn addition, subtraction, and for the rational expression. Second 2a, example 1. So 2y squared over y minus 3 plus 5y plus 3. Here's 3 minus y. So we just learned before, we are going to change to y minus 3. How to change it? Since 3 minus y, the quick way is you switch, become y minus 3, but put the parentheses. For example, 3 minus 2, y is 2. That equals 2 minus 3. Put negative sign. If y equal 2, plug in. And so you got 3 minus 2 is a positive 1. Is equal positive 1. And this 2 minus 3 is a negative 1. And in front have a negative sign. It's also a positive 1. Therefore, the two are equal. They are equal. They are equal. So 3 minus y equal y minus 3. Parentheses in front, put a negative sign. So this have a negative sign. 3 minus y change to negative y, parentheses y minus 3. And this negative times positive become minus negative. And then the others same as those. Just this plus change to minus, become negative. Minus. Now they have same denominator, y minus 3. Same denominator, y minus 3, so you can subtract the numerator. 2y squared minus, need to put the parentheses, 5y plus 3. Put the parentheses. And then remove the parentheses. Following the minus sign, need change the sign. So 2y squared minus 5y plus change to minus, change the sign. Negative times positive is negative. Change the sign. Then we factor this. Since 2, we put 2 times 1, put on the first column. And the negative 3, we can try 1 times negative 3 or negative 3 times 1 until you got right one. So I put this 1 times negative 3. Then you cross times it. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Add together is negative 5. Yes, because here y term coefficient is negative 5. So this is right. And then you put a y, attach y, and got 2y plus 1 and y minus 3. Then denominator is y minus 3. Cancel common factor y minus 3. Got 2y plus 1. And example 2. Y squared over y minus 1 plus negative 2y plus 3. So 1 minus y, you switch. Become y minus 1. Put the parentheses in front, put negative sign. Because this is y minus 1. So I change to negative parentheses y minus 1. You can check it. Negative times y is a negative y. Negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. They are equal. So positive times negative become minus. And now they have the same denominator, y minus 1, and the numerator do subtraction. Y squared minus, you need to put the parentheses. Then remove the parentheses, plus, need to change to minus. Minus change to plus, because negative times negative is positive. Negative times positive is negative. Need to change the sign. Remove the parentheses, need to change the sign. And this one we can further factor because we can find two numbers tied together is a negative 3. Added together is 2. So we put y and the y and find two numbers, 3 and the negative 1 tied together is a negative 3. 3 added negative 1 is a positive 2. You can check it. Y times y is y squared. And inner term product 3y. Add the outer term product negative y. Combined is a positive 2y. Last term product 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Then we cancel common factor with denominator, get y plus 3. And B also addition. Addition of a rational expression. Here as a t over t plus 2 and plus 8. This also, because here t plus 2, so I need to put t first. So I switch, put t squared first, minus 4. Put the parentheses in front, have a negative sign. You can check it. Negative times t squared is negative t squared. Negative times negative is positive 4. They are equal. And then, so t over t plus 2 minus positive times negative is negative. A over t squared minus 4. 4 is 2 squared. So factor as t plus 2 times t minus 2. Factor, use formula. Difference of square formula. And then we need to find LCD, this common denominator. So here has t plus 2, t minus 2. Here is t plus 2. So if this one is times both sides by t minus 2, both sides, then they have same denominator. This is equivalent this because you cancel is still equal. But you times t minus 2 on both sides. They are still equivalent and get equivalent fraction. But the 2 with the same denominator. So t plus 2 times t minus 2. Then this distributive in. Got t squared minus 2t minus 8. Then you subtract the numerator. You get this. And then this one, factor it. We need to find two number times together is negative 8. The two number add together is negative 2. So you can try 4 negative 2 or negative 4 2. Negative 4 times positive 2 is negative 8. Negative 4 added 2 is negative 2. So negative 4 here, 2 here is correct. Then cancel common factor t plus 2. And you will get this answer. And this you cannot reduce. You cannot cancel t. Or you cannot do 4 divided by 2 because they have subtract first, add first, and then divide. It's not t divided by t, 4 divided by 2. And the second example, t over t minus 5, t over t minus 5, and plus 50 over 25 minus t squared. You switch it, got t squared minus 25. Put the parentheses in front, put negative sign. Because you check it, negative times t squared is negative t squared. Negative times positive is positive 25. Equal, they are equal. So then t over t minus 5. Positive times negative is minus. And 50 over t squared minus 25 is a 5 squared. And 5 squared, so this copy done, and this minus, copy done. T squared minus 5 square, use difference of square formula, factor as t minus 5, quantity times t plus 5, quantity. Now, then you need to find LCD. Here has t minus 5, here's t plus 5. So this one, if you both numerator denominator times by t plus 5, this still equivalent that because if you cancel it, it's still same as that one, equal. But now you have a same denominator. Then you can subtract numerator. So denominator is t minus 5 times t plus 5 quantity. Then distributive in, t times t is t squared. And t times 5 is 5t. Subtract 50. Then factor this. So you need to find, because leading coefficient is 1, so you just need to find two number times together is negative 50. The two number add together is positive 5. So you can try negative 10, positive 5, or positive 10, negative 5. 10 times negative 5 is negative 50. 10 add a negative 5 is positive 5. So put 10, positive 10, negative 5. So it's the two factor. Reduce t minus 5. and get t plus 10 over t plus 5. This is the final answer. You cannot just cancel t and 10 divided by 5, get 2. It's not reduced because we have to add together first. Like if t equal 1, 1 add 10 is 11. 1 add 5, 6. 11 over 6. You have add first and divide. It's not divide first. So that is 2b. And the second question, C, 2C. Example 1 and example 2 is also do subtraction. So this A and B is addition. C and D, we do addition and subtraction. So those are topic of addition and subtraction of rational expression. So 2C, first example. Here they already have same denominator, so the numerator subtract. When you subtract, this second one need to put the parentheses. So same x squared plus 6x minus 7. We can factor because negative 7, we need to find two numbers. Tying together is a negative 7. The two numbers add together is a positive 6. So only positive 7, negative 1. So we got this factors. Then here, minus, you put the parentheses, remove the parentheses, plus sign, change to minus. Then combine like term, 4x minus 2x, x term, subtract, 4x minus 2x, 2x. 5 minus 7 is a negative 2. Then common factor 2, factor out. 2 factor out. And put the parentheses. And take out 2, remain x. Minus, still minus 2 divided by 2, get 1. Then common factor x minus 1 cancel. So get 2 over x plus 7. And the second example, for 2C, second example. Since the two have the same denominator, so just 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. So just do numerator subtraction. And second one, you need to put the parentheses when you do subtraction. And then when you remove the parentheses, this plus need to change to minus. So we got 10x plus 7 minus 9x minus 6. And denominator, you can factor it. Since the leading coefficient is not 1, so we have to use those trial and error method to do. So first of all, factor 2 as 2 times 1. The 2 factor as 2 times 1. And the negative 5, you can factor as negative 5 times 1 or positive 5 times negative 1. And then you try it until get cross multiplication, get external coefficient, negative 3. So like try negative 5, positive 1. So then cross multiply. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. 2 times 1 is 2. Add together is negative 3. So this is the right one. And since this 2 times 1 is come from 2x squared, here x squared. So each one put x, attach x. So get 2x minus 5, x plus 1. You can check it. First term product, 2x squared. Outer term, FOIL. Outer term product, 2x. Inner term product, negative 5x. Combined is negative 3x. Last term product is negative 5. They are equal. On the numerator, combine like term. X term combine. 10x minus 9x is x. 7 minus 6 is a positive 1. So get x plus 1. Cancel x plus 1 and get 1 over 2x minus 5. Then D, question 2D, example 1. Example 1, 6 over a squared minus a minus 2. This denominator, we can factor it. Negative 2 can factor as a negative 2, positive 1. we need to find out two number times together is -2. The two number add together is a term coefficient -1. So it's -2 times 1 is -2. -2 add 1 is -1. So 1 is -2, 1 is 1. So that's a factor, become the two factors, a minus 2 times a plus 1 plus 4 over. Also, this one, you need to find two number. Product times together is 3. So it's 3 times 1 is 3. And 3 add 1 is a term coefficient 4. So this is the right one. So a plus 3, a plus 1. And now, the two are not the same denominator. So we need to find the LCD, least common denominator. Then numerator, you can add together. Multiplication and the division, you don't need to find out the LCD. Only for addition, subtraction, we need LCD, least common denominator. So you look at this denominator has a minus 2 and have a plus 1, have a plus 3, have a plus 1. So LCD is pick up a plus 3, pick up a minus 2, and a plus 1, a plus 1 both have just pick out one time. So this three factor times together is their least common denominator. In order to make first rational first one, denominator become the three factors, product of the three factors. So here already have a